The diamond stitch is a beautiful and textured crochet pattern perfect for blankets, scarves, and more. In this tutorial, I'll show you step by step how to create it easily. Grab your yarn and hook, let's get started. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tutorials. Again, I'm going to make a chain, which is going to be a multiple of 16. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So 32 is a multiple of 16. That is 16 like times 2. And then you're going to add 3 more chains. 1, 2, 3. So these 3 chains are going to count as your first double crochet, chain 2. Okay, so you're going to yarn over and into the 4th stitch from hook 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to put a 1 double crochet. So if you can see, there's going to be this little hole right here, but this is our first stitch and this is the 2nd stitch. Now in the next 13 stitches, you're going to place 1 double crochet. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So when you made the 13 chains, in total you should have 14 stitches minus the chain 3 we made. So you have to count from the 2nd stitch from right here. You should have 14 stitches all together. Okay, now you're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, skip the next 2 stitches and place 14 double crochets in the next 14 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So if you can see, you'll have some stitches left. You're going to chain 2, to balance this first stitch here. Skip that stitch and make a double crochet into the last stitch. You should have something like this. Now you're going to chain 3, turn your work towards your right. Into that chain 2 space, because this is like your first double crochet, okay? You're going to yarn over and make 1 double crochet into that chain 2 space. So that means you have 2 stitches now. You're going to chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and make a double crochet into the 3rd stitch, and keep double crocheting until you have 2 stitches left right here. So at this point the stitches are going to be decreasing. So double crochet into the next. So you're going to double crochet into the next 9 stitches. In total you should have 10 stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So if you can see, you'll be left with 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and in the middle you have 10 stitches from the chain 2. You're going to chain 2 again, skip the these next 2 stitches, and place 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, 1 and 2. Chain 2. We're going to repeat what we just did here. You're skipping 2 stitches, and into the next 10 stitches you place 1 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You'll be left with 2 stitches, 1, 2. You're going to chain 2, skip those 2 stitches, and place 1 double crochet into the chain space, and then 1 double crochet on top of the chain 3 space. On top of the chain 3. So now we've balanced. You have 2 stitches, 2 double crochets at the end here, and 2 double crochets at the start of your row. chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn your work towards your right, and that chain 3 counts as your first, your first double crochet. So you're going to place 1 double crochet on top of the next stitch, and then you're going to put 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. 1 and 2. Now you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 stitches. You're going to chain 2, skip 1 and 2, skip 2 stitches, and double crochet into the 3rd stitch, and you're going to place double crochets until you have 2 stitches left towards the end of this. Before you're going to place 1 double crochet until you have 2 stitches left towards the chain 2 space. I hope that makes sense. So you're going to double crochet into each stitch until you have 2 stitches left. Six. And now you have 2 stitches left. You're going to chain 2, and you're going to put 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. 1 and 2. 2 double crochets on top of the 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and then 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. 1 and 2. Okay, now let me explain something. You see, the first row you had 14 right here. The second row you had 10, and now you have 6, and that's how it's going to keep decreasing. Okay, I'm just going to show you in a bit. So now you're going to chain 2, skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and double crochet into the next 6 stitches. So skip 1, 2, and double crochet into the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Going to chain 2, skip those 2 stitches, and put 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. 1 and 2. And then double crochet on top of the next 2 stitches. By the 2 stitches I mean plus that last one, of course. Double crochet on top of that last stitch 2, and now you've balanced. You have 4 stitches at the end of the row and 4 stitches at the beginning of the row. Now chain 2, chain 3, turn your work towards the end, towards your right, towards your left. Just turn your work, And you know, since the chain 3 is your first double crochet into the next 3 stitches. Two and 3. And now you are going to put 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. 1 and 2. Now you have 6 stitches from the beginning of this row. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Chain 2 and skip 1 2 stitches, and you're going to make 1 double crochet in the middle 2 stitches. So after skipping 1 2, in the third stitch you place 1 double crochet, and in the next stitch as well, so you'll have 2 stitches in the middle. Chain 2, skip those 2 stitches and place 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space. And then you're going to double crochet into the next 6 stitches. 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and then 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space. 1 and 2. Well, now if you can see, you have 10 stitches in the middle. Again, chain 2, skip the next 2 double crochets and place 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. Chain 2, skip the next 2 stitches and place 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. And then you're going to double crochet into the last 4 stitches, you know, 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 and 4. Double crochet on top of that last stitch. So now you have 6 stitches at the end of the row, 6 stitches at the beginning of the row. Chain 3, turn your work. You're going to double crochet into each stitch. Remember, the chain 3 counts as your first double crochet, so in the next you double crochet into the next stitch, to the next 6 stitches. 3 4 5 6. Okay, now you're going to make 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. 1 and 2. Chain 2, skip those 2 stitches in the middle and put 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, and then double crochet on top of each stitch all the way to the next chain 2 space. In total you'll have 14 stitches in the middle. 5 6, 13, 14. So you see we have 14 stitches in the middle. Chain 2, skip the next 2 stitches and place 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space and 1 double crochet into the rest of the stitches. And the last stitch. Yeah, now if you can see we have now 14 stitches here, just like we had at the beginning of our first row. 14 here, 14 here. Now it's going to change. It has changed, like up it's 14, and you can see the diamond shape is starting to form, you know. So in the next stitch, so in the next row, you're going to chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet, and then you're going to place 1 double crochet until you have 2 stitches left towards the chain. Now when you have 2 stitches left towards the chain 2 space, you're going to chain 2 and double crochet, skip the 2 stitches and double crochet into 2 into the chain 2 space, make 2 double crochets, chain 2, skip 1 2 stitches and place 1 double crochet into the 3rd stitch and double crochet into the rest of the stitches until you have 2 stitches left towards the end, towards the chain 2 space. When you have 2 stitches left, you chain 2 and then you double crochet. You make 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, skipping those 2 stitches. Chain 2, skip 1 2 stitches, skip 2 stitches and double crochet into the rest of the stitches to the end. 2 3 5 and 6. Chain 2, chain 3, which counts as your first stitch, and then you're going to make double crochet until you have 2 stitches left before the chain 2 space. Okay, you'll be having 4 stitches just like here. The pattern keeps repeating itself, so as you go you get used to it. You chain 2, skip the next stitches, place 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space and double crochet on top of the 2 stitches and 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space. Chain 2, skip 1 2 stitches and double crochet into each stitch until you have 2 stitches left before the chain 2 space. When you have 2 stitches left, you chain 2, you skip them and make 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space and 2 double crochets on top of the 2 double crochets from the previous row and 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space. You chain 2, you skip the next 2 stitches and place your 1 double crochet into the rest of the stitches each. 2, 3 and 4. Chain 3, turn your work and repeat. So now you're going to place 1 double crochet into the next stitch since this is your first stitch. Now you have 2 stitches, chain 2, skip the next 2 stitches and double crochet into the chain 2 space, 2 double crochets, and then double crochet on top of the 6 stitches. And 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, chain 2, skip 1, 2 and place 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches like this, and then skip the 2 stitches, chain 2, skip the 2 stitches and double crochet into the chain 2 space. And then you double crochet on top of the next 6 stitches, and then 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. All right, 2 double chain 2, skip the next 2 stitches and place 2 double crochets into your last stitches. And that's how you're going to continue making this diamond stitch. Now the next row is just going to be like the first row you made. Okay, you're going to chain 3, turn your work, you're going to skip that stitch and then you make 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, and then you're going to double crochet on top of these stitches and 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. Put 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, chain 2, skip those 2 middle stitches and place 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space and 1 double crochet on top of each stitch up to the next chain 2 space. 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, and then you're going to chain 2, skip over that 1 stitch and double crochet on top of the last stitch. And that's how you're going to keep repeating your rows. In the next row you're going to chain 3 and place double crochet into that chain 2 space. That will make 2 stitches at the beginning, and then you skip 2 stitches here and you keep going on and on and on. I'll show you an example. This is another one I made but in a different color. So you see, when you keep going, the diamonds keep forming. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Give it a thumbs up and don't forget to let me know in the comment section what stitch I should bring to you, and see you again in the next video.